Uh, you know the color of like grass when it's like really dried, you know? Yeah, that's the color I got going on. I mean, I ordered new hair. What? Oh, we're doing a movie review. Anyway, so hi. I watched War of the Worlds the other day. No, not the Tom Cruise one. The one with Ice Cube. That's a sentence I just said. So anyway, um, that's that's the newest movie that's currently on Prime. It is like top. I think like when I added it to my watch list, it was top two. When I finally watched it, it was top three. And not because it's good, it's because it's fucking awful. And I'm so glad, like, I heard about it through memes, you know? When people were just like, anyway. So, it's bad. So, not even, like, spoiler alert. Who gives a shit if you feel like you're being spoiled over, first of all, this is H.G. Wells shit, but done in, like, the new digital age, you know? Whereas, like, the Tom Cruise one was, like, very faithful to, like, the book, you know, to a degree, you know, with, like, the invasion dealing with boppers. And the Tom Cruise one, they're like, they've been here the whole time. You see the electric beam came down and something. They were here the whole time. You know, it's like, oh my god. Anyway, this one is about the U.S. surveillance state, and that's something. You know. Also realize I am very. There you go. That's better. Jesus, I was like, I was far too blown out there. Um, Also doing a lot of like funny enough night markets, but they're all outdoors, so you have to be there, you know, early in the afternoon. I don't know if you can tell, but like I am probably the most tan I've been since I was like a preteen. How was like? Can you show? There you go. That there, there. I was like, how can you tell that I've gone tan? Bam. Especially, you know, look at. Oh my God! Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Jesus. Anyway, yeah, lots of night markets, but also what? You know, also damn, I'm looking good right here. Ooh, you know, lifting crates. Anyway, so yeah, I don't even want to talk about this movie. I just want to just talk about anything else. So this movie is done very much like, you know, the movie Missing, Searching, Unfriended Dark Web, where what the fuck they call it, like screen movie, whatever, where it's just pretty much like screen recording the movie. You know what I mean? And obviously people would be doing things where you're like, you don't usually do that on the screen, which is like keep your camera on the whole time, and then you're on like phone calls, and you're also being able to do multiple video phone calls, because that how it worked. I was like I volunteer for like a nonprofit, and they wanted me to record something, and I turned on freaking OBS to do that, and I couldn't have my camera on for the call because OBS was on, because OBS has, you know, access to my camera, and even if I deactivated the camera in OBS, it was still like the call was like, no, I can't access the camera. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have like a secondary one because, wow, do I have that much money? You know? Anyway, so I recorded the call with, you know, my face not in it, which is fine. I really, you know, didn't need to be. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, movie, that makes sense. Yeah, you could totally do that. Because what was it like in the movie Searching? Like, that movie was like a commercial for Apple because she was like talking like from a webcam to her like computer, and then her freaking phone is right next to her laptop, and then she was just kind of like, hey Siri, I want, you know, activate someone's Siri, she's like, hey Siri, blah, blah. I'm not gonna say the command of call the cops. Gotta give it a second so it doesn't stops listening to you for 2 seconds. Yeah, so it's like that. I mean, the John Cho one, I think that's called Missing, because then I think then the one with the black teen is called Searching, I think. Anyway, but yeah, the Missing one was done, like, I felt like that one was done better. The Unfriended movies, like, also, okay, also with these movies, they're like thrillers and horror and stuff like that. So like in that kind of like frantic, like, you know, going from a different screen, bloop, 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 that kind of stuff, it kind of works because you're with the story, you know, again, you're with the character, you're frantically clicking. I mean, granted, Ice Cube is also frantically clicking and typing and stuff, but he's more like, I gotta track this random drone I got going on. I gotta, you know, like, what is it like? Watch my daughter and then my son-in-law inside his. So do Amazon vans have like 400 cameras in them? I mean, I feel like they would at least have one like pointing at the freaking driver to be like, did he shit in a bag? Like did he pee in the bottle? That whole like efficiency thing that like like the deliveries are about. But like the fact that it was like what was it like? There was a camera from like below, and then a camera above, and then a camera in the back there with the packages. And then like there was like way too many cameras inside one of those Amazon vans. Also, no surprise because this was put out on Prime that it was like towards the third act of the movie was just a fucking ad for Amazon Prime to a point where it was just like, you gotta, oh, you, USB? He's like, I don't have a USB, I work for the intelligence, why would I have a USB? You can't leave here. And then like, the daughter's like, I have a USB, bleeding, and all that stuff, and the son-in-law is like, oh man, I can send it to you via drone, but you gotta make an order so it activates the drone. Okay, I'm a little all garbly goop right now, but okay, so the story is, like I said, Ice Cube, who was just looking perpetually confused in the entire movie. What? Oh. And again, this is also a very obvious COVID movie, like lockdown movie, because no one is seen like in the same scene as one another, like at all. Like people are barely even acting next to each other. Like even when the son-in-law and the daughter like meet together, they're still kind of like, like, what I mean? Like, oh yeah, oh we gotta do something, like 2 feet, type of thing. But yeah, so Ice Cube is like some intelligence agency, spy, whatever. He just monitors a lot of fucking, cameras and stuff all over the world. And they were saying like, oh, what he was doing was just monitoring people's like Amazon carts or something like that. And it was like, okay, fine. And then again, he has access to like drones. He's like, click, I'm in, all that stuff. Overriding this and that to like help whatever. Oh god, it's just so stupid. And then of course it's like for some reason he's in the office alone because I guess it's one of those jobs where he's just in the office alone. I forgot if they gave a reason why. I forgot. Does it matter? Doesn't matter. Does it make the plot better? Probably worse. And so then he's just like creepily following the daughter and then calling her, being like, "You're only eating this and da 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 about the baby," and she's just like looking at the camera like, really, like that's gross. You know what I mean? Granted, I know we're under such a like hyper surveillance state, but it's also like, bro, like that's your kid. Like, leave her alone, man. Like, god damn, these fucking like she's also like she's grown. She's not just like, oh, I'm pregnant and 17. She's like a scientist and shit like that. I'm guessing she has like she's working on a PhD from like the articles that is being written about her, or she wrote about. I'm saying. And I love how it's like, she's a scientist, she's got like a lab coat, poorly photoshopped lab background, and she always has that injector thing. Fucking nanotechnology or whatever the fuck her, like her thing was, and then her guy, the baby daddy, is like an Amazon delivery driver, which is nothing wrong with that. We all gotta make our money somehow, whatchamacallit. So it's like, he's just like watching them and all that shit, and then like, oh, and then Ice Cube has like a friend who just like is Eva Longoria, and she talks about the weather all the time, and then she's like, I'm beautiful, and then I'm like concerned about climate change, and it's like, okay, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I mean, the little bit I've seen of Eva Longoria's acting, it's not the best. Again, she is a pretty face. But Jesus Christ, even in this movie, it's like, girl, like, I could definitely tell this was a paycheck. Like, oh my god. Like, you could at least, like, you're at least better than Ice Cube's acting. My god, man. Because, yes, this is like a serious role. This isn't like, Are We There Yet? Where he plays, like, either like, oh no, he's like the dad. And it's just like the fact that, like, he has, like, angry face and kids are wild. And so he could just play that. Or like, what was it, Ride Along or whatever the fuck, and again, he's playing opposite Kevin Hart, because Kevin Hart's a funny guy, so he could just kind of mean mug. I mean, they even make that joke where like the son-in-law was like, oh, I made shirts for the baby shower, and like something to do with like sharks or something, and like hit the shirt for him. He's like, look, he even scowls like you, and I'm like, all right, we get it. Like, Ice Cube has, you know, I mean, like Paul even one time said, he, like when we were walking down Fifth Avenue and tourists did not know how to walk because they're fucking tourists in New York City, he goes, yo, I'm gonna put on my Ice Cube face, and then this white woman saw him and like practically walked into the street and was like, I'm gonna rather get hit by a bus than to walk past a black man, you know, because racism, you know. Anyway, back to the movie. So, yeah, so it's a lot of that stuff, and like, of course, Eva Longoria is like, oh man, like, these weather patterns are changing. Like she's trying to go, like, Dennis Quaid, Day After Tomorrow, like, could you believe this? But always, like, you know, Ice Cube was like, he's like, what was it, like, I watch shopping carts, not, or like, I watch cameras or something, I don't watch the sky, or, like, what is this line? Like, God bless his son is a better actor, you know, because one, his son played him in Straight Outta Compton, and then his son wasn't bad in Den of Thieves. There's a second one. It's on my list, and I will get to it. But, you know, like, his acting is not bad. It's like, God, you know, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? Well, you know, yeah, it's fine. You're in an Amazon, you're in a Prime, like, movie thing, which is pretty much an ad for Prime, and again, it just, like, yeah, and like, oh my god, the terrible, I was about to say the horrible, and then I was trying to say the terrible, I almost said the torrible, the fucked CGI. Like, this movie, like, even though it's, like, let's say it got filmed during 2020, right? That wasn't that long ago. It was 5 years ago. Why the fuck does it have the CGI visual effects of the, like, 1990 whatever, like, the American Godzilla with Matthew Broderick? You know what I mean? Or, like, the Japanese Godzillas that came after that one, and they were just, like, the most hokey CGI Godzilla. There was, like, one where, like, a white man was just, like, doing this, and they had him, like, going really fast. Like, from, like, the Matthew Broderick Godzilla to, like, when America did another Godzilla movie. I mean, like, I guess you don't count Shin Godzilla. But, like, that in-between part where it was, like, Millennium Godzilla or whatever they want to go. It's like that. Where, like, it's like, what is this? It's like in the 1997 Spawn movie where you can, like, taste the 1997 ones and zeros. It's like, this is at the time of filming, but at the time of release, a 2025 sci-fi movie, and you've got, like, the digital effects of sci-fi channel movies, you know, like Sharknado and all those, like, asylum movies where, like, I remember, like, people I knew, like, I went with this person I knew with their family to go see Battle Los Angeles, and then we came home, popped on Sci-Fi, and Battle for Los Angeles, the Asylum movie was on. I was just like, you know, complete different of, like, all the time to being like, we're in this abandoned parking lot. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what is this? Like, what is this? Like, oh my god. And, like, so many people I follow gave this movie a half a star, and because I am someone who watched Christmas rom-coms, and sometimes accidentally religious Christmas rom-coms, this got a 1 star for me, not a half star, because I've seen worse. You know what I mean? Neil Breen exists, you know? I mean, Neil Breen gets extra stars just for the effort. He gets, like, an extra half star. It's like, you know what, man, I'm gonna give you a 1.5 star or something, because it's an A for effort kind of thing. But yeah, like, so, and who even fucking cares about the fucking plot? Because we know War of the Worlds, all that stuff. So it's pretty much like, it's so funny because, then there's, like, this, like, anonymous type, like, of hacking, you know, oh my god, I hacked into the most secretest of government secrets. Oh my god, Neil Breen was right. And then, like, no surprise, it happens to be his son. You saw that fucking coming. Like, when they were trying to, like, find out where, was it Destroyer or something, or Annihilate, whatever, one of those, like, it's an adjective, you know, like, word, you know, like, it's not an adjective, you know what I mean. One of those words, and fucking, you know, verb, appreciative. Well, it's a little bit of both. Anyway, I didn't do great in English. Did great in Latin. Makes sense. Anyway, so like, yeah, like they try to go to the house, and then Ice Cube is clicking around, being like, "Oh, the camera's in the place. Oh, this camera's got the anonymous guy's face on." I'm like, why? If that was where you, why would you put that in? You know, like it doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make you. Oh, we got him, we got him. And it was just like a laptop there. They're like, oh, how were we duped? I'm like, I don't know, maybe because you're one of the, three-letter, branches of the U.S. government. Y'all ain't the best. Man, he was on the FBI watch list. Oh, cool. And y'all didn't do anything. Mass shooting. Like, okay. Anyway, so like, like I said, it turns out, it was his son. No surprise. And then like they're all talking via their anonymous things on like Discord or some shit like that. And then like, of course, the son's showing his face, which is like, really, dude? And then slowly but surely the War of the World dealies or whatever, they're trying to like suck like information, but like really they're trying to make it seem like a bad thing, because it's like those machines kind of Tyler Durden it, because they like erase Facebook, and it's like, oh, God bless, it was like deleting information. It's like, yeah, maybe I'll get rid of like credit card debt and student loans and all that stuff, like let's do that. Fuck it, who cares? Sure, the social media is gone, whatever, but like, who cares? That means oh my God, no influencers. Oh my God, guys, I just found this hidden gem in New York City. It's called the Bryant Park Holiday Shop. Like, what? That was a real video I got suggested one time. Someone said, hidden gem in New York City, Bryant Park Holiday Market. What? I found this place. It's a hidden gem. It's called Times Square. But yeah, like, so it was just like sucking all the information. So then it it took the encryption, I guess, of like the anonymous people, really their profile pics, and it just shows they're all like dorky looking dudes. I feel like those probably were like producers or like gaffers and shit like that, because they're all really kind of like dorky looking guys. One dude was very, very much balding, which is, you would guess, would be some dude like that. And they're like, oh no, they're killing us, they're bombing us, what do we do? But it was just so bad, man. Like, again, I don't need to really go into plot. I'm just gonna point out the things wrong with it, it's bad. And it's kind of like, I would suggest to watch it with friends to laugh at it, because it's not something you sit down and you go, cinema. You know what I mean? You just watch it, you go, yeah, that's what I would expect. And then it's like, you expected Ice Cube to die. I didn't think he would die. He was not gonna die. Like he's like, he wasn't invited to the baby shower, and then he is invited. Oh, he puts his daughter in like one of those Teslas that like opens the doors like a DeLorean, like a maxi pad of wings. Puts her in there because she like got rebarb in her, because just like, oh my God, just like Clover. This movie, it does a lot of Cloverfield things, and then like hacks into the Tesla and drives her to like the nearest whatever DHS like thing, and she's like, and he like watches all the cameras, and of course it's like self-driving, and you're like, I'm dying. It didn't hit the baby, but I'm dying. Fine, whatever, because the plot says so. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, it was like a commercial for Tesla. It was like, it was a commercial for like Microsoft Teams or something. Like where I work, like I got a chance to like check my email on a computer and not my phone, and it was like, so-and-so wants to, correspond with you on Teams. I'm like, who is this? You don't know me. I'm just some random fucker. Like, I literally am like such a small, like, no one is contacting me directly. The only time I get contact directly is when they go, oh, sorry, we fucked up on your pay. And it's like, okay, and it was just like someone being like, just letting you guys know it's my last week. And it was like an email from like July. And I was like, oh, okay, sorry. It's like, okay, why'd you send it through Teams? Bitch, ain't nobody reading that. But yeah, like this movie was like, oh, do Microsoft Teams. Like, hate. And it was just, oh my God, like, it's so, fucking hell, it's so bad. And I mean, hey, they spent money on that, they're not gonna do an original film, and then people get mad. Like, it's so funny, because then people are just like, oh man, why aren't there any good movies coming out? And then, like, I'm not saying every A24 movie is amazing, but like A24 comes out with like some like weird shit, or even like Neon, comes out with like some weird shit, or even like just original shit, and people are like, nah, I'm not about that. And it's like, okay. And even though it's got like big names in it or something, they're like, no, no. They're like, oh hey, there's gonna be this another 4,000 more superhero movies. Oh, there's also gonna be like 4,000 more remakes. That's something I'm gonna go watch, and I'm gonna be really upset that it wasn't really good. It's like, oh goddamn, what'd you expect, bitch? Um, but anyway, yeah, there's not much else to say. The movie was fucking horrible. The acting was horrible. Like I said, the CGI was like 1998, levels of CGI. You know, I mean, like I said, it's an ad for Amazon on Amazon. You know, yeah, no. It also is like, am I supposed to be siding with like the surveillance state of the government in this movie? Like, am I supposed to watch this and be like, oh man, I'm really glad they have these random drones and cameras all over the place so Ice Cube can watch me, go to work every day, like, you know. I mean, granted, in Manhattan there are a lot of cameras, and if you watch any public ones, if you know how to find me, you'd probably find me, But also, why? I'm just walking around. I'm literally just like walking around, not walking around, but I'm just like heading to work, going home, trying to just trying to survive. But anyway, that was a movie. Again, who cares about the spaceships and all? No one cares. No one cares. It doesn't matter. Oh my god, what was it like? Oh wait. Actually, one thing. My camera's probably gonna overheat. One thing. The fucking one really unrealistic about the movie, because there's so many unrealistic things about the movie. One of them is that they punish someone in the government for being evil, and yeah, that never happens. They were like, oh, this person did a bad, and then they've got arrested, and they're gonna be prosecuted to the highest extent. It's like, that never fucking happens. But thanks, cool. I don't know what else to say. Fucking